Bonjour, I'm Felicia Londré, theater historian, and this is episode 2 of 5 Minute Molière, sponsored by Casey Molière 400 in 2022. In episode 1, I used Shakespeare as a touchstone for appreciating Molière. In today's 5 minutes, let's continue with Molière's influence on English theater, starting while he was still alive. In 1655, while Molière was still touring the provinces, he wrote his first 5-act comedy in verse. It remained in his company's repertoire for the rest of his life. It was phenomenally popular. So no wonder it's such fun in English translation by Richard Wilbur. Richard Wilbur translated it into verse and called it The Bungler. I hope some Kansas City theater will do this show during our 400th birthday celebration of Molière from the fall of 2021 to the spring of 2022. But for the version of the play that was done while Molière was still alive, let's look at John Dryden. He wrote a restoration comedy based on Molière's L'Étourdi that had been written only a decade or so earlier. The play by Dryden is called Sir Martin Marall, or The Feigned Innocence, and it premiered in August of 1667. The fun part is what a theater goer wrote about that production of Sir Martin Marall. You've heard of Samuel Pepys as the author of a diary that tells us so much about daily life in 17th century London. Well, this book extracts all of Pepys's observations of the theater from his frequent theater going habit. And he wrote a lot about Sir Martin Marall because he saw it about 10 times. The first time was when it had first opened. His diary entry is August 16th, 1667, to the Duke's Playhouse, where we saw the new play acted yesterday, The Feigned Innocence, or Sir Martin Marall. It is the most entire piece of mirth, a complete farce from one end to the other that certainly ever was writ. I never laughed so in all my life. I laughed till my head ached with all the evening and all the night with the laughing and the very good wit therein, not fooling the house full. He saw it again 3 days later, to the Duke of York's house all alone, and there saw Sir Martin Marall again, though I saw him but 2 days since, and do find it the most comical play that ever I saw in my life. And then he went again the next day, and to see Sir Martin Marall again, which I have now seen 3 times, and it has been acted but 4 times, and still find it a very ingenious play, full of variety. A month later, he saw it again with great delight, though I have seen it so often, and then he saw it again in October of 1667. Later in October, he went in late and saw only Act 5. And then January 1667-68, New Year's Day, he saw Sir Martin Marall, which I have seen so often, and yet am mightily pleased with it, and think it mighty witty, and the fullest of proper matter for mirth that ever was writ. And I do clearly see that they do improve in their acting of it. Here, a mighty company of citizens, prentices, and others. He saw it again in April, which the more I see, the more I like. And the last entry is in May, thence to the Duke of York's house to see Sir Martin Marall, where the house is full. And though I have seen it, I think, 10 times, yet the pleasure I have is as great as ever, and is undoubtedly the best comedy that ever was wrote. And of course, you know who originally wrote Sir Martin Marall. It was our man Molière. Looks like my time is about up, so I will just remind you. Go to the website, Casey Molière 400 and 2022, and see more information about our upcoming 400th birthday celebration. Au revoir. Merci.